everybody! Somebody said that these kinds of videos are like a FaceTime with a friend, so love you, bestie. Also, this is Shmeal, everybody. If you don't know Shmeal from my mid-year reset video, this is Shmeal, everybody. Great. So you're in luck today because I'm going to be talking about self-love everything. Self-love 101. Maybe you're a beginner or maybe you're already on your self-love journey and you're feeling a little bit stuck. Big Sis Shell is here to help you, hopefully, with my somewhat wise words. We are going to be talking about all things self-love today, why it's important, my own self-love journey, and why I've made it half of my personality, how to better yourself both physically and mentally through self-love, and also just how to become a better person in general and what to cut off, indulge in, all that kind of stuff. And also some wise words at the end of this video from yours truly. I don't actually know what I'm going to say. It's going to be interesting. You'll have to stick around for that one. So what is self-love and why do so many people talk about it? Like, why is it so important? What's the big deal? Self-love is to take care of yourself both physically and mentally. It's all about authentic self-acceptance and realizing that you are a work in progress as well as a masterpiece, which basically means that you forgive yourself for your mistakes because obviously you are human, you're not a robot, and you just work on becoming a better version of yourself. Now, not to be mistaken with selfishness. Selfish people are just all about themselves. They have no consideration for other people and they don't really see anything wrong with themselves, especially in scenarios But we're not talking about selfish people today. Big on. So why is self-love important? What's the big deal? Like, why should you care? Self-love really pushes us to take care of ourselves, which is amazing. When we take care of ourselves, we obviously take care of our body, and then our body takes care of our mind, and then our mind does its thing. You also start to celebrate the beauty and the freedom of your authentic self instead of trying to be someone that you're not. So chef's kiss to that. Self-love is all about self-acceptance and taking ownership for your actions. Taking ownership is so attractive, like amazing. And realizing that you too are a human being and we all make mistakes. We're not perfect. We're not adopting the victim mentality in 2023. That's so 2012. No. People tend to adopt the victim mentality, especially in breakups, friendship breakups, and confrontation, when they refuse to see that they are a problem. So when you practice self-love, you definitely have the ability to pick apart a situation and be like, oh, okay, I was a little bit toxic here. Definitely overreacted in this situation here, and I definitely pushed this person away because I was being a big bitch. If you don't accept your flaws and just adopt that victim mentality and really feed into it and start blaming the other person, thinking that you can't do any wrong, like, no, they did it all. And that's where we hurt ourselves because we're not being real, we're not being authentic about a situation we might be a little bit toxic in. Self-love also helps in increasing your self-esteem. Self-esteem is how we view ourselves, worthy or not. Also plays a big part in our mental health. If you're constantly belittling yourself and hating every aspect of yourself, then you're just hurting your poor little mental health and you're not going to be helping yourself in your self-love journey by doing any of that. You're just ripping yourself apart. I used to do the exact same thing. I would look in the mirror and I would say, you have a big nose, you have no titties, like, why do you deserve to have a boyfriend? And I saw this video the other day of a therapist who would tell her insecure clients to go home and look in a mirror and just say that you love you. Sometimes our brains are like little puppy dogs and they just pick up a bad habit just randomly and it's like, why have you done that? So we've got to retrain our brain, our little puppy dogs, into loving our body again. I just started off small because at that time I didn't love my nose. I was like, okay, my nose is normal. My titties are normal. And then eventually I could look at myself in the mirror and be like, I love my nose. I love my titties. It didn't happen overnight, but it did eventually train my brain into saying, hey, I love you. And now I just look at myself in the mirror and I'm just like, sup, bitch. Like, I don't even think an ounce of hatred. It's just, that's me in the mirror. It took a very long time to have even an ounce of confidence within myself. So I do understand it is very, very hard. You've got this, bestie. Self-love also helps us become more assertive. That means that we basically have more confidence in standing up for ourselves and also decision making. Self-love also helps us have better relationships with not only ourselves, but other people as well. Because the relationship that you have with yourself 100% sets the tone for the relationship that you're going to have with other people. It's like that saying, how do you expect them to love you if you don't love yourself? Very harsh, but it's true. So a healthy sense of self-love helps you recognize your strengths and you have more confidence in going forwards more because you don't have that failure in your brain being like, oh my God, like I can't do this. I can't paint a picture. Yes, you can. Everyone can paint a picture. Practicing self-love helps you to have that strength and be like, okay, I'm not Picasso, but I've done my best. Yeah, just self-love is like a big mindset change. So if you knew me back in the day, and by back in the day, I mean teenage Shelly, I had no confidence, no self-esteem, no security. I would just let other people walk over me and I would apologize for it. That was me. I was that girl. Oh man. And I wouldn't want any better either, because I would just use the excuse that I've dealt with this before and I don't deserve any better because this is what I'm used to. What? Shelly, sit the fuck down.
Sit down.
And I never realized how bad I was until an old high school acquaintance person messaged me and was like, hey, I watch your YouTube videos. Your confidence? Who are you? You are not the same person I knew in high school. And I was just like, one, where did you come from? You dropped off the face of the planet. Number two, like, I never realized how much I'd grown. And YouTube has definitely played a massive part in it. Like, I thank YouTube every day for helping my confidence. Like, it takes a lot of skill to just sit there and carry a conversation with a phone or a camera. It's giving insanity. I also used to be a big people pleaser. And I would just have people wipe their dirty shoes on me if they wanted to, because I was a doormat as well. Two-piece combo, baby. And it didn't take me until a few years ago, when I was going through a really intense friendship breakup, to actually practice self-love. It was really, really bad because this person meant the world to me. This person was like family and I was so heartbroken, and we got into a big fight and it broke me. I was just mourning the friendship for like 3 months, and it wasn't until after those 3 months I was like, what am I doing? Why am I trying to blame this person? I was also equally as shit. And so I just indulged myself in self-love podcasts, especially this one here, helped me so much. Like, I still listen to this every day. Worked on becoming a better person and realizing that I can be a little bit toxic sometimes and I need to work on it. And it takes a lot of strength to pull yourself up and correct your shortcomings, because this bitch ain't perfect. It sucks that I had to go through a friendship breakup to realize all of this, but thanks, friendship breakup. You helped me out a lot. People of the world are always telling us that we should love our partners in their love language. You probably know where this is going. So it's very important for you to love yourself in your love language. So on my laptop here, I have some tips and tricks on how to love yourself through your own love language. So let's start with mine first, because I have two.
She's got problems.
My biggest love language is quality time. So if you're anything like me, go out there and take yourself on a date and just give yourself all that loving that you would expect from a partner. Be extra. Go to the park and paint a picture. Watch the sunset in a car by yourself with a blanket and some popcorn. Like, just go and do it. Doing exercise for yourself is not only good for the body, it's also just a good quality time activity. Whether that's yoga or going on a little walk or just simply lifting a weight, just help get that blood pumping in your body and you will just feel so fulfilled. It will feel amazing. Have a conversation with yourself. I know what you're thinking. Okay, how else do you connect with other people, right? You can't just stare at a person and be like, we're connected now. No, you've got to converse with them. Look in the mirror to make it a little bit easier and just have a rant, rant about something. Give yourself advice, maybe some words of affirmation. My second love language is receiving or giving gifts. And if this is you, honestly, just go out and buy yourself something. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be flowers, a little chocky from the supermarket. If your love language is words of affirmation, go onto Pinterest and just scroll, look up, indulge in all the quotes that you can that resonates with you. It really does help. I really don't know how to explain it, but it does help. Do your own daily gratitudes and words of affirmation in the mirror. You can do it in a journal, but I feel like when you're talking to yourself and actually hearing it, it just helps a lot better. Yeah, I graduated school, I promise. If your love language is acts of service, doing little things for yourself, like meal prepping, tidying your room the night before, doing the dishes the night before, can be really connecting for your soul. And I know it sounds like a big chore list. You're just going to feel so much better the next day, not having to worry about that workload or whatever. Like, do something for yourself the night before that you've been putting off. Run yourself a hot bath with bubbles and a candle, some music, maybe set up like a little movie. Go and be extra. Now, if your love language is physical touch, which I feel like a majority of the human race is, you need a hug. Like, are you okay? Give yourself a spa treatment. This includes a manicure, a pedicure, maybe exfoliating your whole body, moisturizing your whole body, like do a little face mask. Give yourself the pampering that you deserve. Another good one is investing in comfy things that you can indulge in. So your bed, for example, comfy clothes, pajamas, maybe even a big fluffy blanket that you can just snuggle with. Like, amazing. Maybe a schmeal. Lucky last for my physical touch galleys out there. Buy yourself a vibe. I'm not even kidding. Just go. You will love yourself. Literally. Let's talk about the ways that you can give yourself some self-love mentally. You have got to get a good night's sleep. It's very important. It does wonders for your body, your mind, your soul. Like, it's just really good for you, obviously. I'm going to sound like a lifestyle coach, but exercise for the mental health. Not that I do much of it, but even just going for a little walk or doing some yoga stretches, just stretch your legs, stretch your mind, put on your headphones, put on a empowering podcast and just walk. Surrounding yourself with good people is my next point that I have here. And that is because our friends are a reflection of ourselves. So if you're hanging around people that are gossipy, negative, bitchy, judgmental, then you're also going to have that toxic mentality and you're not going to really see the good in life. You're going to be seeing all this negativity around you and it's going to be hurting your self-love. Surround yourself with people that are celebrating your wins, being happy for you, helping you become a better person as well and not tearing you down. Anybody who makes you feel good, just keep them around and slowly flush out those toxic people because life is too short to be dealing with people that are not good for you. This one's quite short and silly, but just spend some time in nature. Like, go outside and look at a mountain or just go outside, listen to the birds, look at the trees, go for a walk in a park somewhere, have a little picnic, like just anything to feel that sunshine. It really helps the soul. It just cured, honestly. My last little point here is picking up a new hobby because I feel like when you are trying something new, you learn a lot about yourself and I just feel like that's really good mentally. So I've got a couple of dot points here on little ways that you can work on becoming a better you because you're probably thinking to yourself, Shelly, I've got all these things now, but like, what the hell do I do with them? You've got to stop comparing yourself to other people. It's hurting your soul. It's hurting your mental health. And I know it's a lot easier said than done. I feel like the first step of not comparing yourself is definitely doing a social media detox because we are constantly scrolling social media every single day and we are consuming other people's opinions, other people's lives subconsciously without even knowing it. We're just taking it all in. If we're following the wrong people that make us feel negatively about ourselves, then it's going to be hurting our souls. It's going to be hurting our mental health. Like, if there's anything online that's distracting you from becoming a better version of yourself, then it's just better gone. Just be gone. Another good tip for your self-love journey is to not worry about other people's opinions, especially if they're unnecessary and unwanted. This video here is probably going to help you a lot more than what I'm about to say now because my brain is just not working, but here I tell you how to not give a fuck. And basically it's also about not worrying about other people's opinions. So I definitely recommend going to watch that video. Don't be afraid to let go of toxic people. As I said before, life is too short to be worrying about toxic people and having to deal with that negativity. Like, life is hard as it is, okay? We don't need to be worrying about toxic people, okay? That is the least of our worries because it's just a waste of time. Whether that's platonic, romantically, professionally, like, it's just not worth our time. Have boundaries and stick to them. Don't let them budge for any single person because as soon as you allow a person to step over your boundary, then you are hurting yourself and your happiness because you set that boundary for a reason. Every time you let a person go through your boundary, you're just hurting yourself. Don't do that. All right, we're going to grab schmeal for this one because now it's time for the wise words of wisdom from me. What am I going to say? Just take it slow because this self-love journey, unfortunately, doesn't happen overnight. It's an ongoing journey of just constantly becoming a better version of your past self and learning from your mistakes. My last point of advice is just like and subscribe down below. I'm going to go and edit this video now because best believe this is the second time recording this video. The first time my microphone wasn't working and it better be working this time. Otherwise I'm going to be so mad. Okay guys, I love you. Bye.